Let's address the elephant shrew in the room.
Tiny.
You exploded another bathroom.
It happened before we got there.
You exploded another bathroom.
I did not.
Tell the audience you exploded another bathroom.
I will not. Okay, audience, here's what happened. I had to go take care of my mom for a week because that's what good children do. If their parents aren't the worst. If your parents are the worst, you're fine. I was told by my mother that the hot water heater was broken. It would get fixed Monday. Monday, it did not get fixed. Tuesday, I was told it get fixed during the day. And then instead, they fixed it during recording time. I had nothing to do with it.
And so Sasha died on the way back to her home planet.
No, fuck off.
You can't just tell me to fuck off.
I can if it's all in good fun.
I'm an adult. I have feelings.
Me too, bitch. The fuck?
Funnily enough, you're not the only person who destroyed a bathroom this week. Chris, will be alluded to multiple times in the other recording, ate an unrefrigerated pie and
Chris!
And some unrefrigerated chicken wings, and also had a bad bathroom experience that negatively affected his recording, although he did show up.
I tried. I was like sitting right underneath the recording bathroom because I would have had to be locked in the bathroom. And they were very loud and tearing open a wall.
The recording bathroom is also the name of my... Never mind. We always do that joke.
Your memoir.
So, out of character, Lauren exploded the bathroom. In character, Sasha is not going to be joining the group right away for this arc. They will meet back up together, as you will discover after the cold open is over. So, Captain Melbeck accepted the mission to investigate the mysterious death on Pell 3. And so the party is going to split at this point. The main body of the bastards, the people who showed up at the normal recording time,
oh my God,
are going to go interview some witnesses, the victims' co-workers, and their place where they're known to hang out, while Sasha is actually going to go to the scene of the crime, ? You don't know if it's a crime, and investigate there.
It's always a crime.
Okay, so the Snallygaster lands at the Pell 3 ship port. Just a quick reminder, Pell 3 is a moon around the gas giant Pell. It is the third of the 3 moons, and the only reason people live on this moon is because there are these creatures called Maxwells who died here. In fact, I don't think I've said this before, there are 13 Maxwell corpses on Pell 3. And each of these has unusual properties, which allow them to power basically magical machinery, which is basically partially terraforming. I can go into the details if you'd like, or you can just take my word for it that it works. How do you feel?
Maxwells are giant slugs, right?
Yeah, they're just like huge slugs like the size of mountains. I described with the other group that, you know, those beautiful photos of the city in front of like Mount Fuji?
It's like that, but with a giant slug.
Yeah, exactly.
Can it be Slammers Mackenzie?
From Futurama?
Yes, that's a deep cut. Y'all welcome.
But yeah, you remember we talked about the air envelopes that people have, which is why you don't asphyxiate on any planet but the one you were born on?
Yeah.
Well, there are machines that can generate them, but they just take too much power. So people don't usually make city-sized air envelopes. But because of the Maxwells, their 13 bodies mean they can sustain 13 cities scattered across the Pell 3. Drake City, where you are, is one of them. If you leave the city, you will leave the air bubble generated by the Maxwell, and then you will have to face the weather on a moon without atmosphere. If you're curious...
Oh, I hate weather.
The surface of the moon, when in direct sunlight, can be over 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and when not in direct sunlight, negative 200 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, cool.
So not a great place to be. You can. That's actually where you guys were in the first episode. You were like at sundown, like when it was starting to cool off, but before it was freezing. So it is survivable in short bursts, but not great. In Drake City, though, the temperature is like not too hot, not too cold, not too dry, not too humid. Just like in an artificially created biodome for you inside this air envelope. In fact, you get off the Snallygaster, you go over to the victim's apartment, and you see Ambassador Jacqueline waiting for you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She is in a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh!
When her guns are really, popping in there. I think probably, what goes with the Hawaiian shirt? She's just basically dressed like she's on vacation because she lives on...
Cargo shorts, flip-flops, sunglasses, a camera on, like around your neck, and a fanny pack.
Okay, she's full on vacation mode because she works on Gloria on the dark side. So she basically lives in like super Alaska, and she's always buried under this huge polar bear coat. But now she gets to go to the city with basically the entire city is air conditioned to be like neutral, and for her that's just like suns out, guns out.
Okay, I've decided I'm dressed like Miami Vice.
Okay. Do you have a fake mustache on?
No, but I do have some really cool shades.
All right. So the rest of the party went off to talk to the victims' friends and family. You will know more when you listen to the episode, Lauren.
Yeah.
But Ambassador Jacqueline invited you to see the body itself, or what's left of it, because it's very strange. So strange that doctors were not helpful. I'm sure there were doctors on this moon, and they called them and they said, yo, we don't fucking have any idea. And so Jacqueline was like, get me the conspiracy master.
Yay, Lauren doesn't have anything to live out to.
So you guys see that the victim's apartment had the door kicked in, presumably by whoever is the police here. Police is a strong word for what they are, which are Caravella family goons. That's who.
Oh no, goons.
Yeah, that's who patrols the streets. But this guy was probably missing for a little bit, and someone went to check on him. The door was locked. He wasn't answering, so kicked it in. And Jacqueline leads you inside to see what's left of this guy. This is completely stupid.
I would like to roll performance to look really cool in front of Jacqueline, well, even if whatever I do is fucked up and wrong.
That does sound like Sasha, yeah.
Okay, I have a 7 to that, so 20? Is she impressed?
I think this is the second time you've gotten over a 20 to impress her. I think she might get a crush on you if you don't chill.
Yes! That's the plan, dog.
All right, yeah, I mean, with the 20, tell me what you do.
First of all, I stroll up real cool, like as if there were an explosion behind me, but there's not. And I'm gonna whip my shades off and be like, so I hear you needed the conspiracy master.
I like to think, in addition to her island kind of attire, she probably has 2 coffees, one in each hand, and you think, oh, she bought me coffee so we could have them together at the crime scene. But then you see she's sipping out of both. They just didn't have a big enough one for the size she wanted, so she bought 2.
Also, should birds have coffee? I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, you're not a bird, you're an Aarakocra, and maybe they can have coffee.
I've decided we can. Beam me up, Scotty. Sorry.
All right. So she has dark circles under her eyes. She's just a perpetually tired gay.
Yes.
And she's like sipping at her coffee. You walk up and you're just like, cool guys don't look at explosions. And she is suitably impressed that she offers one of her coffees to you.
Oh, I was just gonna chug it all in one chug.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. You drink the coffee and she says, I take it you didn't have any trouble getting over here?
I never have trouble getting anywhere.
So you're just going to be weird flex but okay at this entire episode, huh?
Yes, that's Sasha's flirting style.
All right, so Ambassador Jacqueline, she doesn't normally go to crime scenes personally, but this is such a weird thing. It's like basically classified as far as any of this goes. Like they don't want people knowing about this because it's so weird until they understand it. So she leads you into this apartment. It's a pretty small, cramped apartment in like the slummier part of town. You're going to have to start asking questions if you want to know about this case, but let me just paint you the scene. It's a cramped studio apartment, dirty dishes in the sink, papers everywhere. Not like the place was ransacked, just like this person lives kind of a irresponsible lifestyle.
Okay. Before we go inside, I want to roll, I'm assuming it'd be investigation. I couldn't get away with perception on the door to see if I could see what kind of foot kicked it in, or like if there's any footprints or like tentacle prints or something. I don't know.
Sure.
All right, investigation.
Yeah.
But I got a 19.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say you know enough to know that it is a bionoid who kicked this door in.
What the fuck is that?
The audience is going to hear this twice. This came up in the other recording that definitely happened before this thing you're hearing at the beginning of the episode. Sorry for time.
Give me that noid. I don't want to avoid him.
You can't avoid him.
Okay. So, like, looks very Dragon Ball Z.
They're very anime. They are explicitly based on Kamen Rider, a Japanese character.
Oh, Kamen Rider. Okay.
Yeah, in the same way that the Yitsun are just xenomorphs, there's a lot of this in Spelljammer.
Okay.
It was made under serious time constraints and under some editorial duress, so there's some wackiness in here. But the Bionoid, I grew up with big bad Beetleborgs. Does that mean anything to you?
Only that you always talk about it.
Well, the audience doesn't know that.
But now they know. He loves those Beetleborgs.
I don't love the Beetleborgs. I just grew up with them. But they're kind of the American version of this phenomenon. Although, I mean, we talked about Power Rangers in the other recording. It's that. So anyway, they're called Bionoids. They're basically metal guys in human shape, and they have biological parts. So they're not robots or what.
They're androids.
They're not what D&D call Warforged. They're a combination of man and machine. And Jacqueline tells you the Caravella in charge of Drake City, his name is Vincent Caravella. He's kind of a xenophile. He loves aliens and alien cultures, and he basically only employs aliens.
So that would include Bionoids.
Yes, it would. And you don't know this in character, but out of character, when Captain Melbeck went to meet him, he had a Zodar in his employ.
Would that count as a Bionoid?
No, that's a Zodar.
That's a Zodar. It's a different thing. That's good to know.
Yeah, but they're all just like powerful aliens. And I mean,
okay.
Yeah, Jacqueline can tell you more about the Caravellas if you want.
Hey, Jacqueline, tell me more about the Caravellas. I love to hear that sultry, tired voice.
Don't you think we should investigate the crime scene so you know what you're asking about?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to roll investigation on the...
Didn't you just roll investigation?
Yes, I guess I need to roll something else. So I think medicine on the body itself.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5. I don't know shit.
Yeah, and I don't know how much that would have revealed, because if it was as easy as bringing a doctor in, they would have just brought Dr. Adler in.
Right.
So you fail, and Jacqueline has to explain what you're seeing, and I will do so.
Oh, there's fingers. Maybe.
There are not. So you walk into this messy apartment, dirty dishes, papers, person doesn't dust. Cramped, small apartment of, this is not a bigwig, right? Like this is someone in the kind of the lower class.
A poor
like us, yeah.
Yes.
And inside of this apartment, there are a bunch of piles of what appear to be dust on the ground. And Jacqueline points at them and she says, carbon, calcium, potassium, sulfur, sodium.
So you're telling me they got turned into all the parts that make up a body? All the chemicals.
Elements, the base elements.
Yeah, those guys.
Of a body. Apparently, there's some stuff missing, oxygen, hydrogen, but those dissipated into the atmosphere because at this pressure and temperature, they are not solid.
Okay.
So, what the fuck?
Let me think in my brain. I'm going to... Correct me if this doesn't make sense. I'm going to roll Arcana to see if I can think of any magical shit that would cause that. As a librarian, I would have done research potentially. Mm-hmm. I rolled a 19, bitch.
19 is very good. Here's what you know. Mm-hmm. It would take an incredibly powerful magic to do this.
Okay.
It's not impossible, because nothing's impossible with magic and through our Lord Christ. But
gotta kill him.
It would be on fucking hell. It would have to be something on the level of Wish. That's the most powerful spell in D&D, Wish,
okay.
Where you basically just genie wish a new reality. Anything less than that, and I'm not even sure, you're not even sure Wish could do it, but that's something like that if it's magical. So if it's a weapon of some kind, it's entirely new, or it's been hidden for some, maybe because it's so powerful or something. This is not something you're familiar with
at all. Okay,
at all.
So I know it's very powerful, crazy powerful magics.
Absolutely, it was done so cleanly. There was no struggle. There's no collateral damage.
Okay,
whatever did this just separated this person into their individual elements, left them in separate, clean piles.
Okay,
and did nothing else.
Well, Jacqueline, I don't know. All I do know is that some crazy level magics would be needed to make this happen. Maybe even stronger than Wish. You've heard of Wish? Everybody's heard of Wish.
Was that rhetorical? We all grew up with that movie with the genie.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, love him.
Hey, we should go to a movie sometime.
Maybe after this.
Yes, just, think about it. Anyway, tell me what you know about the victim, Jacqueline.
I'm so glad you asked. My voice is hoarse. I'm so glad you asked.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to throw you off a bus into traffic. Jacqueline says, so he was a Rygar, Reigar.
Let me Google that.
Rygar are almost indiscernible from humans. I don't know if she would say this in character. I'm telling you this. This is an example of convergent evolution, a phenomenon when two creatures in similar environments will evolve to be the same. The Rygar are aliens, but they're pretty close to human. They have two main differences. One is that they emit a kind of sparkle around themselves.
Aww.
Magical and pheromonal in origin. And the other is that they do not have significant sexual dimorphism. Do you know what that means?
It's not like there's not significant physical differences in the male and females of the species.
Besides that, they are essentially human. If you were like a couple meters away and there was a Rygar and a human, you might not know they're different species at first.
Now, does he have any suspicious history?
It depends on if you find artists suspicious.
Not inherently, but like, was he involved? Like, does he have a criminal record?
It's Pell 3. Everyone works with the Caravellas in some way, so it depends on what you consider criminal.
Okay.
He was a sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
That was his profession. He works with an artists commune out of a warehouse. I've sent the coordinates to the rest of your team. They're probably there right now. As far as other suspicious, shady activities, he was known to frequent a local blood sport fight club.
Oh.
So that's where he hung out and threw some back with the boys, I believe is the phrase.
Yes, love to throw it back with the boys.
Sometimes you have to. But the rest of your team will be investigating those two leads as we speak. So you don't need to worry about those so much.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And investigate the house.
All right. Why don't you roll, I guess, another investigation?
Yes. And then also Detect Magic to see if I detect anything. So that I can detect anything if the investigation works. I rolled a 10.
That's not great. Here's what I'll give you. With Detect Magic, you don't notice any significant magic in here, which is helpful because you think, oh, this is some kind of super magical weapon, the likes of which no one has ever seen before, that shakes the very foundations of science.
But there's no signs of...
There's no residue. There's no, trail. There's no...
And, even if they use magic to powder his body and then just, threw his body powder into the house, the powder would still emit magical shit.
It absolutely should, and it's significant that it doesn't. With a 10, I can't tell you any more.
But that's something.
That's something to write down in your notes.
A clue! Sorry.
Another thing you'll notice is that this guy was a sculptor. He has a lot of sculptures in here. Mm-hmm. However, just looking through his papers and so forth, it seems like there's a lot of stuff missing that must be at the artist commune that the rest of the team is looking at. So to learn more about his art, the team will need to
We'll have to reconvene later.
I mean, you're definitely going to have to reconvene later. I'm just saying, if you're looking for clues on that front, it seems like he kept most of his stuff there. So that's a thing to note.
Okay. So, Jacqueline, it seems like while this should be some sort of magical attack, right? It's clearly not, because Detect Magic isn't picking anything up. So maybe it's like a drug? I don't know. What do you think, Jacqueline?
What kind of drug would reduce you to your base elements? That must be the most incredible high.
Or, well, I mean, like a pill, or it could be, I don't know, man. I'm just spitballing. Don't question my process.
Okay, I'm following the process. I do have a question about your process, in fact. You haven't asked the victim's name, and I'm worried that you're not going to.
No, that was totally on the agenda. Lauren did not forget about that at all.
Sasha, look me in the eyes. Was that on your agenda?
I left my agenda on the ship, but if you saw it, it would be there.
She just finishes her coffee.
I finished mine earlier.
Sure did.
What's his name?
The Rygar use some rather flowery naming conventions. You know how names differ from culture to culture. Some humans use 1, some use 2, some use 3 names.
Yeah.
I'll save you some time. His name basically loosely translates as the Noble One, but everyone just calls him Noble.
Is there like a noble hierarchy on where the Rygar are from?
It's funny you should ask where the Rygar are from. They aren't from anywhere anymore.
Oh, their planet's gone?
They blew up their own planet, yes.
For why?
People claim to know. There are stories.
What's the most commonly accepted story?
The most commonly told story, and there's of course no way to verify this, is that it was done as an artistic display.
Oh, that's so extra.
Yes. Now, that may arise from the stereotype of Rygar as temperamental artists. The same way elves have a reputation for being haughty, and humans have a reputation for being arrogant and egotistical. The Rygar have a reputation, sometimes true, sometimes not, for being extravagant artists. Extra, you might say.
See.
And so, whether it's true or not, there is the rumor that as the greatest, most powerful art piece conceivable, they destroyed their own planet.
Okay, well, more important history. The reason I ask is if they called him noble, if his name translates to nobility, blah, 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 could he be of royal blood, and could that be a motive?
Much of the Rygar's history and culture has been lost or is being deliberately kept from us by the surviving Rygar for whatever reason. Maybe they're embarrassed, maybe they're distrustful. But I highly doubt that a nobleman would have ended up on Pel 3, a criminally controlled backwater, and then spend his time sculpting while the mob breathed down his neck. But I'm not the detective.
Clearly, you haven't watched a lot of period pieces.
That's true. I'm more of a slasher movie kind of gal.
Oh, I get scared and I have to cling to whoever I'm watching it with. Oh, no.
Do you have any more questions, detective? I'm going to call you detective, even though you're an adventurer. That's not an official promotion.
That's okay. I feel really cool and big.
Yeah.
Why are you involved, Jacqueline?
Because if someone has the ability to reduce someone into base elements at their whim, they're a grave threat to, well, all of Markov, if not the known galaxy.
I was going to roll survival to check for unusual footprints other than bionoids on the, like, around the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
19.
So you walk around inside the apartment, outside the apartment, and you find a good mixture of different alien species. Pel 3 is kind of a melting pot of both criminal elements, people who are running from stuff, people who left their own cultures because they didn't feel like they fit in. Just, you know, how these things happen sometimes. Mm-hmm. Urban melting pot, so forth. So it's hard to pick out. 19 is very good, but you see, you know, there are bionoid footprints. Mm-hmm. There are the Zodar footprints, human, Rygar, Vidale Ken, orc.
So I'm not going to get anything from the footprints.
Nothing specific. It's not like, I found the footprints of a killer. But I think Jacqueline probably takes this opportunity to mention to you that, as she said, Vincent Caravella, he also goes by Vinny, the guy who's in charge of Drake City, the city you're in right now. He's a xenophile. He doesn't really let soul species work for him or be around him. He's almost the opposite of Invicta. He kind of despises Earth culture and its brutish.
So the orc prince are a little weird then, because that's a soul species.
It's not ideal for him. The orc probably doesn't have the best life here, especially in this cramped, slummy district. But Vinny is not the only Caravella. There are The family is huge. They operate in many systems, not just Markov. In fact, they're biggest in Sol, where they basically take things from the post-scarcity Earth and then go everywhere else to where people still have cash economies to sell their stolen goods. But so there are cousins, there are nephews, there are uncles, there are a million Caravellas out there. But the three in Markov are Vinny, who runs Drake City, Anthony Jr., who has a reputation as kind of like...
Is he like Fredo?
No, he's like the dangerous one. He's like the trigger man. Yeah, he's like
he's the opposite of Fredo.
Vinny is like, oh, I just love alien cultures, and he's like, I'm using my wealth and influence to indulge my very specific fancies. And Anthony's like the gangster who kills people. And then there's a third Caravella brother that is like the black sheep of the family that is kind of a shame. Like the shame of the clan, and no one really knows who he is or what he's up to. He's kind of like in the shadows. So that's something that Jacqueline tells you about the political situation here.
Okay. From what I can remember, nothing. I have never seen anything like this in any of my research. This is a completely new thing.
I was afraid of that. Whatever did this to Noble, we have to find out who has this power, where they got it, how we can stop them, and maybe how we can take it for ourselves.
Well, that's a little worrisome, but I trust you, maybe, Jacqueline. You're on the law side. Maybe.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know I'm conspiracies, can't trust no one, blah, blah, blah.
I guess.
Oh, I guess we'll have to hang out more so you can gain my trust.
Hopefully the rest of the bastards have turned something up in their adventures, and we can meet back up and compare notes and solve this mystery.
I do love to solve a good mystery.
While we're waiting for them to chase down those leads, do you still want to go see a movie?
Yeah, are we gonna see a scary one?
I'm trying to think of a good D&D joke. What's the scariest D&D monster? Hold on.
What was that guy with the screamy face?
Oh, you're talking about like the Bone Claw?
Maybe. He was like a really lots of hunched back, screamy face dude. And I was like, can I be that? And you said no. And it reminded me of like Edward Munch's The Scream, but like wearing a hoodie.
You do a scream, huh?
I found a picture of him. The Bodak!
Oh, the Bodak.
Let's go see it's like the Babadook. It's the Baba Bodak.
So you want to go see Bodak 6?
Yeah, we'll go see Bodak 6.
The Bodakening?
It's Bodaking time.
That's his catchphrase. It's Bodaking time. Did we even describe the Bodak to the audience? You just said it looks like Edward Monk's The Scream. That's fine. That's all they need.
Yeah, he's like got like a tattered hoodie robe thing. And he's got that face.
All right, popcorn's on you. Let's go.
All right. Do we hold hands?
Roll to hold hands.
What I roll to hold hands is that stealth to be smooth, sleight of hand because it's hands.
It's got hands in the name.
Okay, let's sleight of hand because it's hands. I'm just gonna slip my little paw in there. It's not a paw. I'm not a cat anymore. I rolled an 11.
Mm-hmm.
Do I do it?
I'm gonna roll a charisma check to be too cool right now.
Okay.
Crit.
Damn, you crit.
She's too cool.
Oh, so she like goes to like brush her hair out of her face, and I'm like, oh, I missed.
Yeah, and yeah, you also do the I was just checking my phone.
Yeah, totally. Just reaching in my pocket. It's not. Wasn't trying to hold your hand.
All right, so you guys go see a movie?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, that doesn't mean she's rejected you forever. You just didn't. You shot your shot.
I didn't. I shot my shot and I missed.
For now.
Last time on Dice Funk.
Capture.
Yeah, capture and incapacitate before kill.
It was clear we had no chance against his equipment, and yet you immediately opened fire.
I'm certainly open to the idea of a first mate. Is the decision I do not feel should be made until we have completed one additional mission.
But these things, which are called Maxwells, they seem to generate immense and disproportionate amounts of energy.
If they had a lot of mental capacities, they could exude an extreme amount of psychic energy.
I am going to be acting very differently, but I expect to see you step in line. And if you do not step in line by the time that we next talk with each other after the next mission is done, your place on this crew is certainly not stable.
Vinny Caravella, did my Zodar give you any trouble? They are an imposing presence.
Always a treat to walk through town with a handsome someone on your arm.
My father, he kept quite a menagerie of exotic helpers. We got rid of most of them after he passed, but
It benefits me not to be able to sell anyone out in this line of work.
it is his badge because he is a undercover cop.
You know, I think who has more knowledge than a sun dragon, right?
Such behavior is more appropriate for my counterpart,
Oh, the moon dragon?
the dastardly Volhard.
I understand now why when I suggested he turn into that he didn't like the idea of that. That's just like a big scary animal.
Dr. Adler and I, we used to travel around with, I guess you'd call him our mentor. We had many adventures before our lives took a different turn.
I too lost a mentor. I still do not know where I am going.
Wolf spiders with the heads of eels, and they come up to about like a human's knees. There are two of them, like peering over a refrigerator on the edge of the scrapyard.
But these aren't our Neogi from Pel 3, right? These are different Neogi.
You think these are guys trying to get revenge? You killed their friend.
And he's gonna get killed by the Caravellas.
There are options, like I could, if I wanted to, I could threaten. I could just go back to him and tell him that you are undercover in his organization. Yeah, but I want to be able to like dress it up and pet it and stuff, and be able to go look though it's in the cartridge though.
Oh yeah, the petting game is very good. I spent an inordinate amount of time petting all the Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon petting is the best. Just give them a good stroke. They're very good boys and girls.
I'm not a fan of the word you used. I don't know if that has different connotations in England. In America, that's an uncomfortable word for me.
Okay, petting is the action of doing the pet action of a pet.
Oh, we tried to make petting gross too, in fairness.
No, what did
but
I
I think he
say?
was referring to stroke.
You said give it a good stroke.
Oh, I don't know, you and your filthy Americans.
No, that's the thing. We're the Puritans. It's you guys that are filthy. We try to twist everything to not be. It's disgusting.
This podcast suggests otherwise, you filthy, filthy people.
Speaking of filthy, disgusting perverts, you might have noticed you haven't heard Lauren Morgan's voice.
Shit, roasted.
It's absolutely destroyed, just like her bathroom, which exploded an hour before this recording.
Much like Chris's bathroom that exploded as well.
Not the same bathroom which she talked about catching on fire several weeks ago. This is, in fact, a completely different bathroom.
Lauren doesn't have good luck with bathrooms.
I am never letting Lauren use my bathroom. That's just what I've learned from this.
Our show is a carnival of bathroom mishaps.
Early title contender. Anyway, hopefully, if all has gone well, I've recorded a separate session with Lauren in which Sasha goes to the scene of the death that you guys are investigating and does some CSI forensic files stuff, uses her big librarian brain, and tries to help solve the mystery that way. In the meantime, I think the rest of the bastards are going to land on Pel 3 and try to solve the crime... Question mark, no one knows this is a crime yet. The more traditional way, which is going around talking to people, and then if they don't tell you the thing you need to progress the mystery, you just punch people until eventually those answers fall out. That's how RPGs work, right?
Yep. I've never played Undertale, so there's no other alternative.
That's the only game that's ever given anyone another option.
It's the two bits of agency you have in games, is you either put happiness coins and friendship coins into someone until sex happens, or you punch them until the answer appears.
And Tetris, that's the third kind. All right, so I guess we should set the scene here. You guys went to Pel 3, which is a moon of the gas giant Pell, the only one people are on. We talked before about how the only reason people live on Pell 3 is because there are these giant slug monsters. They're all deceased, but they're called Maxwells after Maxwell's demon, which is a physicist. It's a thought experiment in physics about how to theoretically bypass the conservation of thermal energy in a closed system. If none of that meant anything to you, that's fine. That's just for my big physics nerds out there. Shout out to all my nerds. But that's where all the cities on Pell 3 are built, is around these Maxwell corpses. So where you're going to investigate is Drake City. We know Captain Melbeck has been there already. This is where she met Vincent Caravella and found herself embroiled in a kind of undercover infernal affairs situation. The Departed for Americans.
And it's definitely not going to come back to bite me on the ass during this arc. Go on, Austin. Be nice to me this arc.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Can you, put it off till, next time we're here?
Yeah, that's another thing about Lauren not being here, is she can't pull your butt out of the fire if you set this delicate web on fire. I said fire twice, not great writing.
Oh, that's great. That definitely makes me feel better about choices I have planned for this arc. Not having a safety net, huh?
There's a lot going on. There's the question of who will be promoted to first mate. Sasha is the intelligence expert, so she seems like a natural choice. But Captain Melbeck hinted that she wanted Dreg to do it, and Dreg said he should make Dr. Adler, so everyone's got a vote. That's very juicy.
Everyone's pointing fingers at someone else.
Yeah, and also there's the issue of whether or not Dreg and Captain Melbeck reconcile over their different views on leadership. And there was a tense conversation last episode where Melbeck said, next mission, I'll prove it to you, and if you don't like it, you can leave. So we'll see how that shakes out. A lot of pieces in motion right now.
So I have something I want to specifically mention to Captain Melbeck.
Mm-hmm.
So Olivia is going to mention to the captain that in the process of trying to solve the illithid food problem, they've come across a potential creature that could greatly help things, but it requires finding a living Maxwell. So since we're on the planet of Maxwells, if time allows, she wants permission to kind of look into that.
You've certainly got permission to do that. However, priority number 1 is the mission. We do not. This will not be happening unless we have an opportunity where 0 detriment to the mission occurs.
Cool beans.
So you guys bring the Snallygaster down into the Drake City port, and you can kind of picture Drake City as, if you've ever seen any of those photos of this, like the city at the foot of Mount Fuji, where it's just rising in the background, ominously, with snow-covered peak against the background of what is otherwise a normal modern city. It's kind of like that, but instead of a mountain, it's just a dead petrified slug in front of this moon city. So that's kind of the view here. And if I was a worse writer, a hack, you might say, I would describe this city as a hive of scum and villainy. I'm not going to say that. That's what a bad writer would do. But it's in the neighborhood.
A bad writer has. A bad writer already did.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if that's a slam on me or George Lucas, but we both can get fucked, I guess. So you guys bring your ship down. As I said before, Sasha Grier is going to go off and investigate the crime scene directly. And all you guys know, there was a death that was so suspicious it's probably a murder. And the audience will know, because I'll put the lore in the scene first. The audience knows that the method of death was that the person was reduced to their core elements.
Okay.
There was a pile of carbon, there was a pile of calcium, there was a pile of sodium just in their apartment.
Okay, to be clear, do we know what the species of the victim was?
Yes, they were a Rygar, which is an alien, Reigar. The Rygar are essentially humanoid. I've already told the audience this, but it's a case of convergent evolution where things that aren't related can end up looking the same. That's why birds on one side of the earth kind of look the same like birds on the other side of the earth a lot of times. Mm-hmm. These things, the Rygar, essentially look human. There are a couple of differences, but they're not super important. They're sparkly, and they don't have sexual dimorphism, if you're curious. That's the difference. But besides that, they're essentially human.
Okay. Dr. Adler, being the medical person on our crew, what do you make of this? Do you have any experience in anything that could do this to a body?
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You assume that there is some kind of magic or technology that could do this, but you're not aware of it. It seems like it'd be something on like the level of like Wish to do it so cleanly. So,
okay. Can I do an investigation check?
yeah, I mean, you guys are in a ship port. I'm not sure exactly what you would investigate. Let me say this though: in the Sasha scenes, besides investigating the body itself, there's going to be some like personal details she's going to look over in the crime scene and send over to you guys. And you know that there are a couple of places you should probably check out.
Okay.
So here are the points of interest on the Drake City map. Like if you were playing a video game, you go like to the map screen, there'll be a bunch of selections you could make to like fast travel there. All right, so here are the points on the map. There is the Caravella estate, which Captain Melbeck knows about.
Yeah.
There is the Drake City Maxwell, the corpse of the giant slug creature, which you can see from anywhere in the city, but that's where the power comes from. The whole grid is hooked into it. That's why people live here. There is a bar where you can meet up with Ragnar, the undercover drow cop, if you have a reason to. He's here now because he is undercover in the Caravella organization. And then there are two locations that the victim, that's what I'm going to call the person who died, the victim was known to frequent. And they are an art cooperative space. This is where the person worked. They were an artist. And that's a place you could probably look, because like they're basically the place where they worked. And there's also some I have it written in my notes as the fighting pits. That feels very strong, but it's stronger than a gym, right? It's like where people go to fight for money, but it's not like
Like a UFC kind of place, like a UFC gym.
It's an octagon.
it's but run by the Caravella crime family, so a little harder than that. It's not like they're not snuffing people.
It's an underground boxing club.
Yeah, it's a fight club.
It's a fight club.
It's a fight club, yeah. So those are the five. There's the cooperative art space. There's the fight club. There's the Caravella estate. There's the Maxwell corpse. And then there's the bar where Ragnar is. I just have it in my notes as Ragnar, as if he was the location. Great job, Austin.
So to be clear, we know where this person works, but we don't know their identity.
The victim's name is Noble, and he was a Rygar.
Okay. So, we've got a couple of potential places of interest. I have a contact who could be useful, but we're going to need some starting information first. I feel like getting a picture of the person and getting an idea of who it is and what sort of life they lived, what might have driven someone to do this to them might be a good start. So I'm going to suggest we're going to go start with the art cooperative.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yep, that makes sense.
All right. So you guys walk out of the spaceport and you walk, you actually go through kind of the slummier part of Drake City into like what was once a more industrial part. This wasn't built as an art cooperative space. It was once just kind of a warehouse, presumably where Caravella crime stuff was happening. And then intergalactic police caught wind of it and the building was abandoned. And so some, hippies, some artistic types moved in and kind of just made the space their own. So it's like an abandoned warehouse that has been turned into an atelier by a bunch of nerds. So you guys walk up to that. The door is unlocked and there doesn't seem to be like any security or anything.
Hello. Is there anyone that's sort of... I was going to ask if anyone's in charge. Possibly not the correct question for a cooperative. Is there anyone that organizes the sort of activities going on here?
So you just walk into the atelier, and there are some people in this space, like painting, writing, playing instruments. They're all kind of chill. There's probably some space drugs happening here, some space weed. It's like a chill space. But definitely someone comes over to talk with you, and I'm going to put an icon on the Roll20. Do you ever make a creative decision and then it's stupid and then you go through with it anyway?
Every day.
Yeah, big stars on the map right there.
Every day when I wake up and I get out of bed.
He's a hamster ball. It's a hamster ball.
I I'm laughing at my own joke. So what comes over to you is a solitaire. But unlike the shells you've seen so far, like Courage, who is a three-faced dog humanoid, or Respect, who is a kind of ball of limbs, this solitaire has a see-through shell, very scandalous. You can see the creature inside. I was thinking of photoshopping a cell inside of this hamster ball, but I didn't want to ruin just the effect of me putting a hamster ball picture into the Roll20. Like that was a normal thing to do during D&D.
I'm just reveling in this beauty. There's something wonderful about this.
So this graphene shell, which is like basically a perfect sphere that is translucent, you can see right through it, and inside there is this prokaryotic cell, using its flagella to move. It just roll the ball like as if it was a hamster. It just rolls up to you and says, "Hello."
Hello.
Ooh, kind of sexy.
I mean, Dr. Adler is attracted to solitaire. That's canon.
I don't know if you can help. We're trying to find out a little more about someone called Noble. Believe they frequented here?
Yes. Artist. Talented.
Yes.
See? They gesture as if, do you want to see their art?
Yes.
Yes, this seems like a good move.
The solitaire rolls the ball away to a corner of this space, and you see there's a bunch of 3D art that only exists in this kind of technological, magical future. It is a 3D light sculpture, which has a looping animation, as it were. Think of like, what if sculptures were GIFs? So they can move and they kind of loop back on themselves, and they're carved out of light, and they go through like animations. So you see some here that are like aliens, and they kind of move and pose, and then they go back to their original pose, and then they move again. And there's some that are more abstract, like some, melting clocks style abstraction, some surrealism. And then there's some that are almost like pointillist, or just like things you don't even recognize that might as well just be random. They're not, but they might as well be if you're looking for representational art.
When you say there's those multiple types, is there multiple types within Noble's art, or does Noble's art fit into one of those categories more?
The solitaire explains that Noble was a sculptor. There are people here who paint with like oil and canvas. There are people here who are dancers. There are people here who program video games. There are musicians.
Okay.
Noble was a 3D sculptor.
Do any of these sculptures at a glance tell us anything about... Do any of them seem to be sculptures that we could glean anything of interest from?
Roll to appreciate the art.
What do I do for an art appreciation roll?
That's a good question, isn't it? What do you think's the best for appreciating art? I want to say wisdom.
Can I be super snobby and do it with intelligence?
Yeah, you just want to make a straight up intelligence? I think how you answer this question says more about you. I feel like Dr. Adler would appreciate art with intelligence, but I could see someone appreciating art with wisdom.
I was going to say perception.
Yeah, perception is a wisdom skill.
Yeah, it's a wisdom skill, but like perception specifically jumped out at me.
I rolled a 21 to appreciate that art.
I do not appreciate art.
13 for art appreciation.
Conrad's like, Dreg's like, I don't understand what this is. Someone's like, that's a fire extinguisher, sir.
Yeah, Dreg got a 7, so he doesn't really have strong feelings. I don't want to say he's too dumb to get it, because intelligence and enjoying art are not...
I was rolling wisdom.
Okay.
So.
All right, that's fair. So there's a bunch of different ways to appreciate art. That doesn't mean Dr. Adler's is the correct way, but I feel like she gets the most out of it right now with the 21. So Dr. Adler, what you notice is that there seems to be a pretty simple progression from earlier work to later work, and as they got less realistic. Like they started off like, here's how you make I was gonna say human body, I guess Rygar body. Here's how you sculpt a spaceship. Here's how you sculpt a building. And then they started experimenting until they got kind of into a Picasso phase. And then their latest work is the very abstract, the stuff that just seems like lights and colors, and you don't know what it's getting at. with the 21 to appreciate the art, you recognize that there is a progression from realistic to abstract that is important.
I will convey that to my party members.
Yes.
I will have also have found a craft beer at some point.
Okay.
So, can you tell us much about Noble as an artist? Did they talk much about the changes in their work? About what led them to change their style?
Noble, pretentious, outgoing, expressive, explored, journeys, adventure.
I feel we should be a little bit open with you. I don't know if you're aware, but we need to get a sense of Noble as a person as best we can, because they are unfortunately no longer with us. Anything you can tell us about what they did outside of their visits here, what sort of person they are, who they interacted with, who, if anyone had problems with them, would be incredibly appreciated.
Persuasion.
Okay, that's a straight up and down. I can do straight up and down. Come on. RNG gods, please be in my favour today. 4. That is not in my favour. I'm not terribly persuasive. Does anyone want to help me on this persuasion?
I would love to make a persuasion roll. Few things give me more joy than making persuasion rolls.
Please, everyone, join in and make this a group attempt to persuade, because I am floundering.
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 9. I almost botched.
The group fails, so you tell this solitaire that Noble has passed away, and the electrical signals you receive in response are just the abstract concepts of like sadness and mourning, not being able to process that. And this solitaire kind of slowly rolls away from you and kind of slumps down at the bottom of her shell. This solitaire, you didn't ask her name, but she does take female pronouns.
I was gonna ask what is the solitaire's name?
It's a little too sad to talk to you now.
What if I cheered up with a juggling routine?
So let me get it straight. Dr. Adler rolls up on a funeral. Yo, what up, dickheads? This is sad as shit. Watch me juggle.
It's not even a funeral. This is literally telling someone that a seeming loved one has died. They haven't even gotten to processing time for funeral.
If Dr. Adler goes to get out juggling equipment, there will be a very, very stern, no, you are ordered not to do that will be happening.
No, I can't, because I also have a disadvantage to acrobatics, so it wouldn't even be good.
Also, you forgot to take, juggling equipment in your starting equipment, so...
Oh no, I was just gonna juggle guns.
You gave away your gun. Now Objectivist has your gun.
I was gonna take other people's guns and juggle those.
People like it when you take their guns.
Yeah.
Quick cutaway to Objectivist up on the Snallygaster, just like staring down the barrel, like, what is in here?
Oh no.
It's fine. It only deals 3d6 radiant damage.
He has 1 HP. He's a tadpole.
Oh, that's gonna be rough times then. So I'm going.
Good thing Lauren's not here.
Also, how big of a tadpole is he? Can he hold the trigger and look down the barrel at the same time? Because I pictured him being very small.
He's very small. He's like, the size of like a big thumb.
Yeah, exactly. He can't shoot himself. He's fine.
I'm gonna save that audio clip for later.
Please no.
I want to try talking to the solitaire again, and say we're currently. I understand this is a very difficult time for you if you're just discovering this news. We're currently investigating the cause of Noble's death, and any information that you can provide on Noble's character, events he was maybe doing, people he may have known, any information you have could lead to solving. Well, did we specifically say it's a murder?
We didn't say it was a
We
murder.
have not said that he's a murderer,
Okay.
no.
So any information you can provide could give us leads to find out what happened to him.
All right, so you failed persuasion. Do you want to try another skill or ability to
because I appreciate his art, can I speak in a very pretentious manner that shows that I know a lot about art and try to get through that way? Austin, can I use pretension to beat down this witness into telling us more?
LA Noir would have been so much better if there was a pretension button.
Wouldn't that have been the game?
I don't even know. Fuck. If you want to roll intelligence to try this, I guess. I'm not going to stop you.
22, suck my nuts, Austin!
Fucking hell. All right, the only way this counts, the only way this works is if you actually do it. And you need to make a cogent point about 3D magic sculpture.
Life often fades. We don't truly die until the last person who remembers us leaves this plane. Noble still lives in you, in us, and in his art. And perhaps this can be one last message he sends to the world. If we could find out what happened to him, we must.
You good? You done?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't go the route of intangibility. You can see, but you can no longer touch, and that's still a beautiful thing. That would have been my pretentious angle.
I'd have probably gone with now that he's dead, he has an actual chance of becoming a legend.
That
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And start working on that.
Oh, well, if this doesn't work and we need the intimidation route, that's what I go.
I don't know how they got this. I don't know how this happened.
Help him fly.
I miss Lauren.
I miss Lauren too, but only because she'd be here hitting the nut button right now.
That's true. Okay, so the solitaire says, Noble, work, new, project, space,
Where was this project?
don't know, hired, pilot?
What was the name of this pilot?
The solitaire doesn't know. Did not meet this person. Just knows that Noble hired a pilot to take them out into space for whatever their latest project was.
I will ask, what is the solitaire's name, by the way?
Honesty.
Honesty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I will relay that I am Olivia, conduit of prevention. Honesty, do you know if Noble has been seen with anyone else recently who normally they don't, or is there anyone else who was particularly close with Noble?
The solitaire just gestures to the other artists in the space. It just seems like they were kind of a family.
Do you know where Noble went to hire this pilot?
Many pilots, Pell,
Do they tend to hang out anywhere?
Fight Club?
Aha. Honesty did it. Let's arrest her now.
No, thank you.
Lauren gets back next week. So you guys lost your adventuring license, huh?
Captain Melbeck is gonna just motion to the rest of the team to one side and just to go. So, have either of you got anything else you'd like to get done while we're here, or should we move on to obviously next port of call being the Fight Club?
We should probably try to figure out who hired him. You know, who this project was for, and there's plenty of other people around here to talk to, so we should probably take some time to try and suss that out at the very least.
I agree with you on the point of talking to other people. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, my assumption was that perhaps he'd been working on his own project for himself, and the nature of that project was the problem, not necessarily who he was making it for, but that is definitely a thing to work out. We go back over, just, do you know, with this new project Noble was working on, whether a project for himself, or if it was a project for someone else?
Noble, no, talk, money. See, papers?
Is anything being gestured to with that see papers thing to clarify meaning?
Do you want to see the papers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's being offered.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys roll investigation to finish up here at Dregg's suggestion, including the papers?
I rolled a 13.
6.
3.
Yikes. So the team fails to get much more meaningful information out of the other artists here, but you can still look at the papers. It seems like Noble took some notes and made some like preliminary sketches before they started doing their sculpting and stuff. And you find that the project they were working on at the time of their death, they have it referred to in their notes as W7M. Is the project they were working on. That's their internal notation for it. It's not like they called it like the Mona Lisa. That's the final name of it. It's just like they had a filing system for all their various projects. And it seems like this was commissioned by someone named Anthony Caravella Jr.
See, it's moments like it's arcs like this that I miss season 3, where I had a character who had the ability to just raise the dead and ask them who killed them. Those were times I had.
I think they still need a head to talk to them. So even if you could raise the dead, you would not have been able to speak to Noble.
What if I like smushed the remains together to make a head shape?
I do want to live in that alternate universe where you tried that.
Okay, well, sorry, what was the name of the character again that commissioned it?
Anthony Caravella Jr.
Actually, you say that. I do have access to speak with dead now.
Doctor? What would you possibly use that for, Doctor? Doctor?
It seems like it'd be helpful in finding out how people died.
Doctor?
I don't know what you're hinting at. Doctor Who, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Doom.
Dr. Hoomstedov.
Please do not. Quote, the corpse must still have a mouth.
All right, so we mush everything back together.
Hot.
I'd be extremely impressed if you could recreate a mouth just from carbon and calcium and iron and magnesium, just fucking particles.
Okay.
I mean, does it have to be a mouth or can it just be a wet hole?
Please do not say wet hole.
So
This is the sexiest murder mystery.
Especially when the nut button's not here.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Just irresponsible.
So, potential routes onward from here we have. Fight Club gives us a route to finding out the pilot who can probably extrapolate a bit on this project with perhaps a little less secrecy than the person who commissioned it, perhaps. Also, out of character, there is that whole thing of don't necessarily want to go sniffing around the that particular family until I have to. So,
I mean, in classic Scooby-Doo fashion, we could split up.
never split the party. Actually, well, never split the party. Never a good idea. But also, I have an idea for the Fight Club that involves Dreg
Shocking.
and not splitting the party. Shocking, I know, but perhaps Dreg might be the best one for the big burly men's punch club.
Well, yeah. It's going to talk to Caravella is just out of the question. Like, that's just a bad idea.
Even without my whole behind the scenes deal going on, you don't mess with the big crime family, the son of the crime family, unnecessarily.
Well, actually, this is a question. Is this something that's been said out loud in character at all?
No.
Okay, so as of right now, it seems that, for anyone outside of that I guess in this situation, just my character, this seems as though, the Caravella is, a thing we could do.
If Dr. Adler brings that up, Captain Melbeck is just going to say, you don't necessarily have to mess with the crime family before you have to. I have decided we're going to go and deal with the Fight Club next. Off we go.
Off we go.
During that whole speech that Melbeck was giving very authoritatively, she just hears in her ear,
Do I know what this sound is?
tinnitus.
Yeah, okay.
Symbolism. All right, so you guys are going to go to the Fight Club?
Yeah, we're going to the Fight Club.
All right, so you leave this warehouse and you head back into the slummier part of Drake City, and you find this Fight Club. It's not even particularly hidden because the Caravellas kind of run this city, and this is profitable for them, so it's not like they're going to crack down on their own enterprise. I imagine it probably is like a gym above ground, and then there's like a basement where all the good stuff happens. So you guys can just kind of stroll through. You're all packing weapons, though. There's probably a guard at the front who gestures for you to leave your guns with the weapon check.
I'm not holding any guns.
I don't have any weapons.
Except for the blazing ones on your arms.
Oh.
Those big guns.
Those are the kind of guns they want in here. That's the kind of place this is.
Okay, yeah. Captain Melbeck's going to hand over the weapon upon request.
All right, so yeah, as the only one who actually has a visible weapon, Captain Melbeck, you hand over your shotgun to the guard, and you guys are let into the gym. You make your way down into the basement, which is actually a pretty lavish. It almost has like a casino vibe. It's like a bunch of neon mood lighting, and there's a big center arena where people are fighting, but all around them there are a teeming throng of audience members who are just like drinking and smoking and playing cards and socializing. There are probably people who look like they're here doing deals. There's like a full bar, and there's maybe like a live band or something. It's like, it's not as dangerous as maybe you thought. You're like, oh, we're going to the Fight Club, but it's like, this is a place where the people who are successful smugglers come to like hang out. This is where you might find disreputable pilots as well.
Okay, quick reminder. Chris, what magical abilities do you have?
I mean, I have command, so I can compel someone to do something for like an action.
Okay, what else have you got?
I have the ability to blind people. I can locate an object if I know what it is. I can make people slow.
Locate an object. Thinking out loud, assuming that this pilot has, like, ID on them of any kind, can we try and locate such and such pilot's ID?
I think he has to have seen the object.
Yeah.
Or I have to be kind of, like, intimately familiar with it. I have to, like, kind of had, like, a long description of it or something.
You have to fuck the ID first. To be
Yeah,
intimately familiar.
right in its wet hole.
You didn't recently fuck that ID?
Not in the recent month or anything, no. It could have changed its hairstyle since then or something and be useless.
In that case, potential options we have for finding this pilot is Dregg's probably got the easiest ability to go through areas of this place and interact in such ways without drawing attention. Right, I'm putting this one on you. You are tasked with trying to, at the very least, find out whether our pilot friend is here today.
Fighting will draw a lot of attention to us.
Yeah.
And this is a organization. This is a place that is being run by one of the principals in our investigation. And these are all words that Dreg would never use, but
Dreg loves principles.
But the it would be a bad move to draw too much attention to ourselves here when it's entirely possible that the guy who owns this place is also the guy we're after here.
Yeah, that's fair. For the second then...
Which isn't to say that I might not be able to do something in here to find our pilot. But, Austin, I want to make a perception check to see if I recognize anybody here.
I would love that.
I bet you would. Dice are not happy with me tonight. That's a 5.
No, you don't recognize anyone. I'll just say in the arena right now, there are 2 people fighting. One is an orc, which in Dice Funk, orcs are the early Dungeons & Dragons version. They're anthropomorphic pigs. They have like full-on pig heads and everything, and they're still green, but they aren't like blizzard orcs, which are just green people. And the other combatant is it's an alien called a bionoid, which once again, thanks Spelljammer for combining the word biological and android to give us a really just a really succinct name, but that's what it is. It basically looks like a Kamen Rider. Are you guys familiar?
Yep.
Yep.
It's an android that looks like the protagonist from the Kamen Rider series. I could just put it in. Is that just Kamen Rider? I didn't even take the Spelljammer thing. I think I just Googled Kamen Rider because it looks exactly the same.
That may be a Kamen Rider. It's not one I know.
Yeah, there are many. It's a series. But literally, Spelljammer has this species called the Bionoid, which is a biological android alien that is 100% just the Tokusatsu. Is that how you pronounce that word?
Tokusatsu, I think.
Yes. The Power Rangers style hero from the series Kamen Rider. That's just what they are. Just same way.
Austin.
Yeah.
That boy just looked like Lord Zed.
He does. I mean, there's a reason. That's the same genre.
I know. I'm just saying that's Lord Zed. So there's a pig man fighting Lord Zed. I just want to paint the picture for everybody.
Sure is. And then somewhere out there in this universe there are just xenomorphs. So
Couple of quick questions. With command, does the person who's been commanded know that they've been magic altered?
I think if it succeeds, I don't know if it does otherwise, but
yeah, it's a command. You're compelled to follow the command, but you're still being commanded. It's not a mind wipe. It's a level 1 spell.
Okay. Only other thought that's on my mind right now is if there's like a list of who's fighting tonight, might be a place to look for. I don't know whether it would be stage names or actual names, but that might give us some indication as to whether our mark is here.
Well, I mean, we don't have a name for our pilot or anything. All we know is that this is a place where uncouth people meet.
Yes, you're right. We don't have a name for the pilot. We have a project name, which is unhelpful because we don't want to go running our mouth about that project name in the hopes that we find someone who knows what it is and goes, yes, I know what that project is. I was working on it before my friend died.
I have a quick suggestion. So what if I potentially offered up my services as like free healthcare, essentially, to like if there's anybody who's particularly injured?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Why don't you roll, let's say, medicine?
Could I use my biotic powers to analyze him and see if there's any like specific medical conditions I could see he has an issue with?
I mean, if you want to get fancy, I think maybe you're overthinking this one, but
I'm just saying the dice have not been kind tonight, so
so they've got to be nice to somebody.
Yeah, I rolled a 15 for medicine.
All right, so what do?
I grab a craft beer.
You can't.
You're gonna drink and do medicine. All right.
They have craft beers everywhere, Austin. It's 2018.
Captain Melbeck explicitly forbids you from drinking a craft beer.
Okay, how do you do that? So Dr. Adler walks over to the bar. She's like, I got this, nerds. Hold on. One beer. And then you just smack it out of her hand.
Not necessarily smack it out of the hand. Maybe, like, slide it down the counter so that, like, there's no smash that draws attention, but it is away.
All right, Dr. Adler, give me your pitch.
To what? Get the craft beer back?
If you want. I just want you to set a scene for the audience.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be like, well, hey, so I can help out with this medicine, and I'll head back to the back and see if there's anybody who's particularly injured back there and see what I can't learn while I'm patching them up. You know, get some bedside manners going on.
Okay, I don't think they're going to let you into the back with a 15 because they don't know who you are. But I think you probably locate someone who like lost like a round or two ago. And they're like sitting at the bar. They have like a fucking steak on the side of their head. They have some blood stains on their shirt. And they look like they've had quite a night. Let's say this person is what's a big beefy boy?
Goliath?
I'll say Goliath. So it's basically the only thing that's Dreg sized in here. Goliaths are basically the missing link between humans and giants, like proper giants. So there's this Goliath sitting at the bar, nursing his just whooped ass face, and you walk over and you're gonna offer medicine to him, and you got a 15. So that's good enough to get this conversation going. He takes the steak off and like lets you shine the light in his pupils, and I don't know if you have like a stethoscope. You're the doctor.
Yeah, obviously. And Steve Dave's helping with all this. He has a lot of medical equipment inside of him. So it's like, yeah, follow the light, test your reflexes. Let's try some range of motion, see if you have any muscle tears. I'll use my biotic powers to kind of detect if there's any like blood clotting up at anywhere in his body or anything like that.
Steve Dave opens up and he's just full of scalpels, just 100 scalpels.
You ever seen Phantasm? That's what I'm picturing.
Yes.
Exactly.
So the Goliath accepts your help, and you, from your medical examination, you determine that this person was taken down with a number of like very swift, accurate blows. Just like it wasn't a fight where they were overwhelmed over a long period of time. It was just like, bam, 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 done. And that's what you get from this examination.
Can I ask this individual's name? Or I'm going to. Fuck you, I don't need your permission. I'm an adult.
So you can ask this the name of this guy I just made up, and his name is, let's see here, I hate you, Chris. Weird.
Mumbo Beluga.
His name is Buck.
Buck? Okay.
Buck.
So, Buck, looks like you had quite the fight there. Going against someone skilled?
I almost did Dreg voice. Yes, I am Dreg as well. 2 Dregs. Yes. Small. Packs a punch.
Is it someone who's been here a lot?
She practically lives here.
Oh, what's her name?
Irene.
Irene. So she's already fought today. Is she going to fight again, or is she probably just hanging out in the backstage area?
I didn't land a single hit. She probably could go again. I imagine she'll be back.
Do you think they're looking for anybody else to go up against her today?
They could always use new blood.
Because I know someone who might be interested in a fight.
Are we back on plan send Dreg into fight? Is that where we've ended back up?
Well, I'm trying to lead this in a direction where I could potentially get backstage to meet her.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know if a stranger can just get backstage of this organized crime racket, but if you guys want to just immediately jump cut to Dreg entering the fighting arena with the person you're looking for, I feel like that's a really good cut.
So I'm going to put it this way. This was Captain Melbeck's plan, and it's now also the plan of the person that Dreg said I should have as my second in command. So both of us had this plan, so Dreg's doing it.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't directly my plan.
Well, see, Dreg, if Dreg were my second in command, perhaps his vote would have been different to Dr. Adler's, and perhaps we wouldn't be going down this road. But this is where we're going, Dreg. This is on you.
Again, this wasn't where my idea was going, but we're here.
The fact that you did not... The fact that this is not your plan is exactly why we are here.
This is exactly what he wants. Don't you? This is what he's used to.
The home that he did not want to be put in 5 minutes ago.
Well, okay, but that's yeah.
All right, so the scene is Dr. Adler's talking to this Goliath at the bar, Buck, who we will never see again. Just
No, I asked him to join the crew.
he throws himself off a cliff to get away from you.
No! My best friend,
Why
Buck!
do we need a bartender on the crew? We've got me.
He's not a bartender, he's a fighter at the bar.
I get a tattoo of Buck across my back.
R.I.P. It's right next to the one you got for that guy from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and I also leave the crew so I can start up a rap career where I sing a lot of songs about how I miss Buck and how much he shaped my life.
Yeah, fan favorite character Buck, who we will never see again because he's dead. You talk to him, he tells you that there's a fighter named Irene who is not to be messed with, and in the background you see the orc get knocked out, and the crowd goes wild, and then we just immediately cut to Dreg walking into the octagon. There's orc blood on the floor, and people in the crowd are starting to take bets when they see the 9-foot-tall ogre.
All right, so let me see here. I gotta remember what my spells do.
Do you guys want to take bets on this? I know we don't keep fastidious score of your finances, but maybe an abstract wager if you're interested.
Here's the thing. Normally, Captain Melbeck would totally be on board for that, but she is gonna be very cagey and not do so.
Okay, so there's a scene of you looking like you're reaching into your pocket or something, and then you stop yourself, and you're like, no.
And on top of that, like, she's gonna keep an eye on Dr. Adler and discourage that from the Doctor as well.
before Dreg goes in, I'm going to ask to him, do you want any assistance that I could potentially provide to you in this fight? Or do you not need it?
I'm sorry. What is a fair fight?
Were you answering a Jeopardy clue?
I'm simply offering the opportunity.
Yeah, we're going to win this. I don't care what it takes.
Oh, so you're okay with cheating?
Oh yeah, cheating's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I want to use a spell called Warding Bond. So as long as I'm within 60 feet of Dreg, which I assume the arena isn't that far off, I could be within 60 feet, Dreg would get a +1 to AC and saving throws and resistance to all damage. But every time he takes damage, I also take it.
Let me check a thing that could maybe work alongside that.
Okay.
We've got fucking multi-layer cheating.
I'm enchanting my brass knuckles.
We've got trigonomic cheating here.
Yeah, no, I was looking at Healing Spirit and can I just have my intangible Healing Spirit chill out inside Dr. Adler? So if Dr. Adler takes damage, that damage is undone by the Healing Spirit being inside her.
I mean, I could potentially heal myself if things get that bad.
Okay, fine. I won't add my layer on the cheating.
I'm hoping with the +1 to AC and saving throws and the resistance to all damage that Dreg can win the fight.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't have to get knocked out by it. Though I really hope it does happen because that is an amazing visual to have.
All right, so Dr. Adler, you cast a spell which bonds you and Dreg together with magic, and you're going to suffer some of his damage for him, basically half. So that's going to be very interesting. He's the only one fighting, but you're psychically linked, so you got skin in the game. That's cool. So Dreg, you get in there. Nobody in the party makes a bet on him, but there seems to be some wagers. He's new blood, and he's very, very big. That's some would say his defining attribute is his largeness. And there isn't a big announcer. This isn't like a professional wrestling or boxing match or anything. This is an underground fight club, but you definitely do get a hype man in the crowd or something. It's look at this big boy. Come on, dig deeper in those pockets. You know you can. Look at the size of this absolute unit. Look at the size of him. And the crowd's yeah, actually he's pretty big. And, this seems like it's going to draw a lot of attention. And once that's done, everyone goes quiet and the challenger approaches from deeper inside of this facility where you would have needed to do something additional to get past those guards. I'm going to put the icon down now. You see.
Oh, and when we put in names for this, if names are put in for this, he's Greg.
The fucking master of disguise over here. Pistachio Disguisey. He's turtly enough for the Turtle Club. Son of a bitch. Where did I fucking minimized my own window. God, who invented computers? They're so bad.
They're the worst.
Okay, that's not what I want. You know that's not what I want, Windows. Why would you do this? Oh, there it is. All right, I'm done. So then, approaching this octagon is Irene. And I'm going to have to explain what this creature is. Boop. Does anybody recognize this?
It's a Vidalken?
It sure is a Vidalken.
One of them Avatar people.
Close. So there's a very common science fiction trope, which is the blue-skinned humanoid. It goes back to pulp sci-fi stories, not actual Pulp Fiction like the movie. But, Star Trek famously had the Orion, which I believe were mostly green, but you see the Asari in Mass Effect, you see the Awoken in Destiny, you see the blue people in Avatar. I don't actually remember the name of the Avatar species. But the Vidalken are a Wizards of the Coast property. They are not a Dungeons and Dragons creature, but the canonical blue-skinned alien in Dungeons and Dragons is bad.
The Avatar species are called the Na'vi, I'll have you know.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because they're the natives. Real James Cameron. Can we all get a round of applause for James Cameron?
I only remember it because Na'vi is a fairy and Na'vi is blue sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Na'vi in the Zelda context was short for navigator.
Yeah.
Not native. But anyway, so in Spelljammer, the blue aliens are called the Arcane. Arcane is also an adjective meaning magical, and it's a game about magic, so that didn't work out, and they changed their name in the later editions to the Mercane, which you think, oh, like merfolk? But no, it's mer as in merchant. They're merchants that are arcane. They're an entire species of magical merchants, and like the Ferengi in Star Trek, or whatever that guy was called in Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, having an entire species defined by the fact that they're good at merchanting has bad implications. So I do not want to use the arcane or the mercane.
Well, it doesn't help with the accents that are invariably chosen for those characters. I think that needs to be pointed out.
It's a whole bunch of problematic stuff. So I am currently holding a Dungeons & Dragons book, which came out this week. It is the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which imports some Magic the Gathering stuff into D&D. And D&D has their own blue-skinned creature. They're called the Vidale Ken. And that's what the blue-skinned alien in Dice Funk are, what they are. I've replaced the Spelljammer canon with magic. Vidale Ken are blue-skinned humanoids, as we talked about. The main defining features of them that differentiate them from humans are they have 6 fingers instead of 5, and their noses and ears are flatter to their head than humans. But besides that, they're mostly just blue people.
The one in the picture has 5 fingers.
Yeah, I was just going to make that comment.
Yeah, the artist messed up. They have 6 fingers.
Well, if hands are hard to draw, and getting that extra finger in there.
So take that artist who drew that.
No, hands are really hard to draw. It's bad enough trying to get 4 fingers in a thumb. I would think try to cram a 5th finger in there.
So yeah, they're usually a little skinnier than humans, but besides that, they're basically blue-skinned humanoids with more fingers. There's a thing about this creature that is immediately apparent to Captain Melbeck.
Yeah.
You've smooched this lady before.
Ah, that's like half of space, but yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I felt comfortable adding that detail in.
Oh
for
no,
you.
I'm more than happy with this detail. Like, looking at the picture in the Roll20, I'm like, yeah, Captain Melbeck would have smooched her.
Yeah, for the record, it's Azorius Guildmage from the original Ravnica.
Boo.
Why are we booing? Oh, because Azorius?
No. Zor. Boo.
You're a dirty gruel monster.
Not girl to die.
This is fucking impenetrable for anyone who isn't us, Chris. But yeah.
That's why I do it.
But this character, Irene, in our show, and also this magic card, the blue lady got abs, for the record. What were we talking about?
We're talking about my favorite smooch lady. Oh yeah. Also, she's gonna do a fight. She better win, because I want that face to still be smoochable after this.
We want Dreg to win.
I just put a picture of a Vidale Ken in there. If you read the text at the bottom, it says Vidale Ken have 6 thin, agile fingers. That is the canon there. So
Yeah, 6 agile fingers, huh? Those are some long, slender fingers.
But that's Kaladesh block, and Kaladesh block sucked.
all right, we're not gonna do this right now, Chris. I will say there's one detail about the arcane / mercane I was thinking about keeping in, which is that they are just blue people who are good at merchants, but they have very long fingers. That is their particular thing, and I thought about keeping that.
I think we should keep that. I think we keep that.
I wish Lauren was here. I feel like the lesbian energy would be very powerful in this call right now.
It's fine. I will just have to carry the lesbian energy for the call, and I think I'm up to that task. I've been watching She-Ra all week. My lesbian energy is at full power.
Oh god, she's too powerful now. She-Ra is incredibly gay.
Oh my god, that suit in that one episode.
Oh my god, yeah, Catra's suit. Fucking She-Ra rules. I talked about this for like an hour in my other show. She-Ra is so good. Anyway, back to this fight. I'm sorry, we went off on a whole tangent there. But we talked about before how Jacqueline has like incredibly she's like built like a weightlifter, and like the fans have called her Jacked Lynn, which is very funny. Irene is pretty slender, but she has like very athletic, like a runner's physique. So she has like a 6-pack and everything, but she's not like boulders for biceps. She's very yeah.
I'm gonna make this canon that it's not a runner's physique, it's a roller derby physique, just because it's the gay equivalent of that physique. Like that's the gay version of runner's body.
Oh, you heard it here, folks. The gay equivalent of running is roller derby.
Yeah, it is. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's your smooch friend. You get to decide. Anyway, Irene enters the octagon and they close the, I guess, cage? I don't know if there's a better term for that. This is an enclosed battle arena. You want to roll initiative, Dreg?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, that's a 3, so I'm not going first.
16. Irene goes first. She says to you, Dreg, once again, she's like, I don't know, 5'6" or something. She's average height for a human, slender, but not particularly imposing. And she looks up at me and she says, let's have a good fight now. Cool. She, with like a surgeon's precision, deals several quick jabs to you. And I'm not going to roll for her attacks because she is the conduit of precision and she does not miss.
Okay.
9, 11, 27 damage to Dreg as she punches you square in the Adam's apple, and then in the solar plexus, and then in the jugular vein. Just bap, 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 just with lightning precision. You see how she took down Buck, everyone's favorite character, R.I.P., in just a quick few blows.
I miss you, Buck.
So, to Adler, if no attacks are gonna miss, that AC bonus ain't gonna help much.
Yeah, but it's the resistance as well. So
it's the resistance.
it was
as well.
27
Okay, right,
damage. Dreg's only going to take 13.
Right.
And then in return, I take 13 as well.
In the audience, Dr. Adler, you just suddenly feel half of the pain of getting punched in the throat, stomach, and neck. How does that feel?
Awful. But I'm going to play it off as, it's that damn air again acted up.
It's those wings and pumpkin pie that you ate.
Those wings and pumpkin pie. I don't know why I thought this would be a good combo.
We didn't get that on the recording. That's nothing to the audience.
I know.
No, it's just that's the canon of what Olivia ate that day. Although I guess it'd have to be vegan wings.
Yeah, you're just completely derailing your entire character to make an out-of-character joke. Good job.
That's fine. I'm fine with it.
Dreg, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I am going to return the favor, I guess, and make an attack. 24, and I get an extra attack.
That hits.
26, so I hit with both.
Fucking breaker.
And I'm going to expend 2 spell slots so that each of those attacks gets an additional 2d8 radiant damage.
Yikes.
49 damage.
Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, Dreg.
Oh, please let it be that this chick came in and she fucking did her little like fucking kung fu spiel, and then Dreg just fucking one-shots it with like a hammer.
Well, it's 2 punches, but
Oh, that's true. So you just Mike Tyson knocked him out in like one shot then?
I mean, the thing is that you blew 2 spell slots as well, right?
Yep.
This is going to be a long arc. So, I mean, you're putting your flag in the ground.
Yes, I am.
So, I mean, let's say this fight goes on for a little bit more. So she's making these very precise jabs on your body, and you're just kind of slowly tanking, just walking in. Half the damage is going to Adler. She's getting, beaten up in the audience. But it's enough for Dreg to kind of get a bead, get with proper range, get his paladin spells on deck, and then just with 2 powerful strikes. Do you want to paint me a picture how this works?
Yeah, so she jabs and does her little, float like butterfly, sting like bee thing for a little while as Dreg just sort of looks uncomfortable but angry about it. And then as soon as she's just finishing up her latest little buzz, he's just gonna bring his left fist vertically down onto the top of her head and then follow that up with one to the gut that just should knock her straight into the side of the cage. And that would be it.
All right, yeah, she flies from basically the center to the edge of the cage, slams into it, and kind of almost like fucking Roadrunner, like stays there. Like the force of the impact pins her to the cage, and she kind of like wraps her fingers through it. And she's right next to you, Captain Melbeck. Do you want to say anything?
Captain Melbeck is gonna look her in the eye and go, at least try and keep your face from getting hit. It's one of my favorite features.
Hey, Captain.
Hey, how you doing?
Big boy do punch.
Oh, he do.
And she slides off the cage and onto the ground. Oh man, she was so good at fighting, and she didn't get a chance. Dreg just fucking owned that. Oh, well, that's D&D, folks. That's showbiz. Da 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 da. Dreg wins.
Sweet.
Okay, so leave the ring and
As she's about to be taken out of the ring, Melbeck's gonna like try and get someone's attention and go like, I'm a friend. Do you mind if I sit around until she comes around?
Yeah, these are a bunch of hardened criminals. They're not going to stand on ceremony, basically. It's just you can drag her over to like a table or something, order yourself some hot wings.
And pumpkin pie.
No. I learned from Dr. Adler that was a bad plan.
No, only if you do with pumpkin pie and don't refrigerate them the night before.
You should have told this story on air. Now they had to piece it together like fucking...
now it's a game that the audience gets to play, don't you see?
I did hint at the start of this that Chris had a bathroom mishap, so...
That's true.
Well, now you definitely need to check out Weekly Manga Recap to hear the whole story, because otherwise it just sounds like I pooped myself.
All right, so Captain Melbeck, you drag Irene over to a table. And you get yourself some hot wings and you sit down and she's like half conscious, like slouched in a chair, and she's like, "How you doing, smoochopotamus?"
I am having an interesting day. Seems like you're having an interesting one too.
It's a lot better now. Here's my snuggle snout.
Oh goodness. How have you been? What is new with you, cutie face?
My tummy hurts.
That's would hot wings help? Hot wings always help, don't they? Go on, just one. You know they're your favorite.
Dreg, what are you doing right now?
It's just confused. I mean, I'm collecting my winnings. I'm presuming there's winnings involved.
Yeah, probably. You get a percent.
Yeah.
Can I high five Dreg?
Yeah, what are Dreg and Adler up to? That's a separate scene over in the corner.
I'm gonna be like, great job. Best fight I've ever seen. First fight I've ever seen. Best fight I've ever seen.
It went well. She is fast. I'm glad it ended quickly.
I'm gonna get you a championship belt made. How would you like it if it's spun?
Sure.
Austin, put in notes, new side quest, spinner belt.
All right, in my notes. Hold on.
But we need to find the pilot.
Indeed. The belt can wait for now.
You'll have to go back to Honesty and see if some of the artists can help you whip up a spinner belt. A fucking fidget spinners, but it's a belt. It's a wrestling belt made out of a fidget spinner. Is that...
I mean, I was going to specifically call back to the WWE belt that actually spun.
Yeah.
No, that can't be real.
It's real.
Yeah, when John Cena won the championship, he had the WWE championship spin.
Every time I thought I've heard the dumbest wrestling thing, I hear a dumber thing, and honestly, praise up.
If it helps, it's actually the second time he did it.
Bless you, wrestling. Back at the table with Irene and Captain Melbeck, Irene eats enough wings to not lose consciousness, and she has some lucidity, and she's like, "I'm do some punches, and it's kind of one."
Yeah, you do some punches. I'm glad to see it's not taken a toll on that winning smile of yours. So I'm wondering if you can help me today.
I'm too sore, Melbeck.
How's about this?
You're very rough.
How's about this? I'll give you a shoulder rub as long as you help me out with a little bit of information. How's that sound?
What kind of information?
The kind of information that might earn you a smooch before I leave.
I feel like you still owe me smooches from last time.
Okay, double or nothing smooches.
Oh, the daily double. I see we're back at Jeopardy.
Daily double on smooches. How's that sound?
What do you want to know?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about a pilot that frequented here that was close to the Rygar?
You don't see a lot of Rygar in Markov. They're from somewhere else. Do you know they blew up their planet?
Yeah, I'd heard. It's a real shame. They're all a little scattered around. Makes it hard to find one when one's in the mood.
I heard. Come here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I heard they did it on purpose.
Oh, is that what you heard?
As like a firework? Like happy festival fireworks. Ow, my tummy hurts.
Oh goodness. Would it help if you had a lie down? If we went and found somewhere a little more private back there for you to have a lie down?
She doesn't let you finish. She just kind of lowers herself onto the ground and crawls over and puts her head in your lap. She's just half on the floor of this dirty Fight Club place.
Can I angle to try and pick her up and carry her and go, should we get you backstage?
Airplane.
Okay, I'll do the airplane. And I pick her up and go as if I'm airplane carrying her, just like...
Yeah, you were like 4 times her size, so you easily can just pick her up and airplane her back into like the locker room. Do Dreg and Dr. Adler just let that happen?
Oh God, no! I'm not going there.
Yeah, she has that situation under control. I would probably, I think Dreg would probably just ask her out if anyone's seen a Rygar.
Yeah.
That's an investigation check.
11.
So you just walk around, you're just like, hello, you just watched me do a punch. Do you know any Rygar?
No, well, it's a little more subtle. I'm looking for a Rygar. Does anyone know him?
You find someone who works at the Maxwell power station who said that they saw him go over there. They saw him visit the station. They saw a Rygar who had been here also there. Yes, there's a Rygar who comes to fight sometimes, which is why you guys are here, and that they had seen the same Rygar at their job at the Maxwell.
Right, got it.
And they don't know why, like he doesn't work there. They just saw like they say a guy showed up with like a pad of paper and like colored pencils, and it was just like at the power station, and that was a weird thing, and they remember that.
Can I ask any of them if they've known any like legends or anything like that of a living Maxwell?
No, yeah, you can ask. No one does. In universe, that's like,
okay.
Hey, have you ever met? It's like in our universe, it'd be like, hey, have you ever met Jesus? It's like a thing you can ask. It's nonsense to the people.
I mean, some people will say yes.
I'm sure you can find someone who says they've met a living Maxwell. You should not believe them.
Okay.
If that scene out there is done, the captain, once they're backstage, is gonna make one more attempt to try and coax a coherent answer out of Irene about if she's aware of any Rygar that are friends with a pilot that was here.
So you airplane Irene back into the locker room and probably back to her locker, and she probably gathers up her things, and she just wants you to. She's just like, you carry me now. I'm done walking for today.
It's nice. I think Captain Melbeck is appreciating that for once she's not the one getting carried. That she gets to be the big carry girl for once.
Mm-hmm. And Irene says, I know a lot of pilots. This is where they come to like gamble and drink and hang out. Rygar come in here sometimes. I just don't know any of them. Why are you looking for them? What's their connection? I need more information.
Well, there is a Rygar who is not in a good way. We think that someone who might be able to tell us a bit more about what happened to them, who is a pilot, may have been here. And that's sort of all we've really got to go off right now.
I know there's a Rygar, and I know there's a pilot here. I'm saying, and she's like poking her fingers together, like trying to connect them. What are they, brothers? Are they smoochers?
They were working on an art project together.
Like painting a ship?
That sounds like it could fit into the correct category.
I don't think it does, Snugglebutt.
No. Look, there's an artist that did something to do with light sculptures, things that got very abstract, and they needed a pilot to work on something.
Well, if you're gonna hire a pilot, you gotta get him to fly you somewhere, dummy.
Like where? You know that thinking's not my strong suit here. I could do with a little help.
It's okay. I'll do all the thinking, and
I'll do the carrying.
And you can do the cuting.
I do the cuting, the carrying, and the kissing. The 3 sounds.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
They're all different letters in Vidale Ken. It doesn't mean anything. Get your brain out of the gutter. You're looking for a pilot who is hired to fly an artist somewhere. Now, almost all the pilots who come in here work for the Caravellas, and they're smugglers. They don't fly artists around. So you got to find which pilot would take that job. Think about it.
Okay.
There'd be some schmuck like us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we're looking for someone who isn't a big shot in the pilot game.
You're probably looking for another adventurer or adventurers.
You have been absolutely wonderful. This is fantastic. You have won the daily double. Smooches ahoy, dear.
Beep, beep. That's the sound the ahoy makes.
We're taking the first train to Smooch City.
Night, night.
Don't worry, it's fine. I'll give you nice forehead kisses. You'll be good.
I think she probably just loses consciousness.
That's fine. At the very least, Captain Melbeck is gonna put a little lipstick on and like kiss like a piece of card and just like leave it with just leave like a lips. Do hippos leave lipstick prints? I don't know, but she's gonna try.
You can make that decision right now.
Yeah, she's gonna leave like a good smooch mark on a maybe just on her face so she wakes up and goes, I did get my promised smooches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hurrah! We have information now.
Yeah.
So the captain's going to come back to the rest of the group and go, I believe we're looking specifically for a pilot that's an adventurer as opposed to a smuggler, which is definitely more of an angle to go on. I don't know right now. I don't have any ideas how we narrow down who those pilots are that we would look for there. Also, maybe even just find out about the Adventurers Register. Are there any other adventurers muscling it on our turf, I suppose?
Meanwhile,
sorry.
back with Lauren, who's definitely been in this call the entire time and is caught up to date on all the relevant details of this mystery.
Yes.
Sasha and Ambassador Jacqueline are coming out of Bodak 6, the Bodakening. Do you have a mouthful of red vines? What do owls like?
Cookie dough bites? 'Cause that's what Lauren likes.
It's your character.
Yeah, cookie dough bites, definitely Twizzlers. We're a Twizzlers family. What's that from?
I don't know.
Twizzlers.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like, I don't know, a shake or something.
Do you want to try to roll again for it to have pulled a smooth move in the movie theaters, as is your wont, or now on the way out?
Yeah, would that be sleight of hand again?
Yeah, you want to try again? You want to shoot a second shot?
23!
Oh my, no.
I did the cool thing where I like yawned and put my arm around her shoulder, but I couldn't get all the way around because she's so beefy and I'm so small.
I rolled a 12 to be too cool for it, so 23 beats 12. She's not too cool for your yawn move.
Oh, fuck. Who's cool now? It's me.
So you guys didn't hold hands on the way in, but you're holding hands on the way out?
Fuck yeah, we are. I got a big girlfriend.
All right, so Objectivist gives you an update through the team. So you guys are communicating via the conduit of communication, basically. And you get an update. Captain Melbeck tells you that Noble was working on something which was commissioned by Anthony Jr.
I'm going to relay this information to Jacqueline.
Not only that, but they believe they have found the last person to see Noble alive.
I want to interrogate him.
That person is a pilot, not just any pilot. The pilot was a fellow adventurer in the Adventurers Guild.
And that was the last person to see them alive.
Yes.
Jacqueline, the Adventurers Guild.
Yes.
Well, the last person to see Noble alive was a pilot with the Adventurers Guild.
She shakes her head and says, "This is either a very dark coincidence or some conspiracy is afoot."
Did somebody say conspiracy?
Because although there usually isn't more than one adventuring party in a given system, recently another team stopped in to do some small favors on their way to another system. However, during their downtime here on Pel 3, their pilot disappeared.
Oh, shit.
So we have a sculptor reduced to his elementary particles, and we have a missing adventurer pilot who is the last to see him alive.
I think things are getting a little messy on Pel 3.
But if we can find the pilot,
Maybe we can find the murder weapon / murderer.
one mystery should solve the other.
Sasha's gonna slide her shades on real cool and say, "Come on, babe, let's go solve this mystery."
At the rate we're going, though, someday the credits are going to have to be their own show. We're going to have a spin-off show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring somebody else in.
It's going to be a whole production. I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? A smarter person would be able to leverage this into some kind of intelligent way besides just being buried under the list, but...
Good luck.
Thanks. November 2018. Credits.
Oh god, it's already November?
Well, what are you thankful for? Turkeys?
Almost started crying again, hold on.
They're not that cute.
They are pretty cute.
Uh-huh.
But also delicious.
That's true.
I love turkey gravy on mashed potatoes. That's the shit.
And I'm thankful for music, which we have credits for. We have
Blech.
the songs we use this month include Your Reality Future Bass Remix from Doki Doki Literature Club by The Musical Ghost, Morning Thinker, an arrangement of Thinker from Armored Core 4 by Overclocked Remix, and The Sound of the Galaxy, an arrangement of Freedom's Progress from Mass Effect by Overclocked Remix.
Wow.
You you really jumped the gun on that one. You said wow before I was even finished.
I know, because I didn't know there was more. There was so much.
You're so excited. All right, executive producers for November. There's quite a list. Also, Patreon changed a bunch of things, so I think it's an alphabetical this month instead of whatever system was before. And also, a bunch of people were declined, so if you're not on the list, I apologize. It is Patreon's fault and not mine. Please be mad at them. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, don't make Austin cry. He's a very gentle boy.
I'm so fragile. I'm going to read the list of names that they sent me, though. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure, I'll help.
Thanks. First up, we have a rad skeleton with a skateboard, Kiefer Lowe.
Wow, I'm jealous. We have a turkey joke.
Gonna be that kind of month, huh, folks?
They're gonna fucking get us this month.
Aki Savalainen.
Albert West.
Aaliyah.
Alex Vepra.
Andrew Birmingham.
Andrew Fallu, conduit of mediocrity itself.
Andrew Grothin.
Andy Harkins.
Anime Jesus.
Anna.
Anna Michael.
Wait, did somebody... I want to know if Anna is actually named Anna, or if it's my cat.
Oh, your cat supports you on Patreon?
Well, at least she's supportive of something.
I'm sorry for all the times I called you a nasty little gremlin, Anna.
Anthony, patron of Dora. Hey, thanks, Anthony.
Oh god, her army grows. Are you there, God? It's me, Bozog. No, sorry, I have to do it. Are you there, God? It's me, Bozog.
Oh, that's the good shit.
Sorry about the audio.
Arjun de Koenig.
Artemis BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Bristol.
Ashley? No, just Ashley.
August Rue.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. Austin Porfleas. Parentheses, donate to my Patreon.
What does that even mean? Poor please?
Because it sounds kind of like Yorsky.
Oh my god.
They're getting you so hard this month.
I've been destroyed entirely. I like this. The next one is just a message. Austin, it's all caps. Austin, tell Laura to tell Jim I said hi. I'm not a messenger.
Oh no, more dunkage. Austin Yorsky, conduit of pretentious storytelling itself.
See, pretentious is one of those things I say about myself in a nice way, but when someone else says it, it sounds like an insult, so I don't know which one. Also, now that it's in alphabetical, I can see how many start with my name. Which is brutal. Normally they're peppered throughout, but we just get 6 Austins in a row here.
They love to dunk on you.
They really do. Austin Yorsky died to pinwheel twice. How would you know? If you're going to dunk on me for my Soulsborne gameplay, I could not beat the blood-starved beast without help. How about those real dunks? No one's ever died to pinwheel. It's nonsense.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a Dark Souls boss.
Oh. Brady, conduit of failed murder.
Keep trying, Brady. Brendan Williams. Wait, no, don't keep trying, Brady. Hold on.
Hold on, Brady, please stop.
Legally, I'm not allowed to encourage you. Brendan Williams.
Brent, every single McElroy. Goalie dash McElroy Esquire.
Really? I've never seen anybody spell Esquire that way, Brent.
But
honestly.
I love it.
You kind of killed it. Brittany and Jermaine Walls, dual conduits of senseless bickering. That's
Y'all need to work on that.
Yeah, it's either sweet or I'm pulling for you.
Bruce Wayne, conduit of Batman.
Well, you just just completely destroyed his secret identity on air.
Oh no, this next one's pretty good.
I mean, I am excited about reading the name Buster Muffin Half. But I wanted to go back to Bruce Wayne, conduit of Batman, because if the conduits existed in the DC or Marvel universe, would everyone's completely be busted? Like, you wouldn't be able to just be the Flash in your civilian identity. You would be the conduit of speed, and everyone would know.
Uh-oh.
I feel like
no more superheroes. Sorry.
Yeah, it completely destroys the fiction. Anyway, Buster Muffin Half. Yeah, that felt good. I'm glad I got to say it twice.
Please don't bust it.
Or do.
Cameron Abbas.
Carter Rayner. This is going to take 6 weeks at this rate.
Christopher Charlow.
Cody Jackson.
Quorum. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in but it's in null fit. Sorry, Quorum.
Counterfeit.
Daria Morgan.
Dawn.
Dawning Frost.
Dennis Bankston.
Dennis Pancake Detlefson.
Devin, conduit of evolution. Still holding out for that dragon type Eevee.
Oh shit, this next one is me. Dorian, conduit of self-destruction. Grayson.
There's an entire subgenre of people who are trying to get Lauren to say same, and it's honestly the best thing about doing this every week. Douglas Williamson.
Dr. Tao.
Dr. Goatman. I wonder if you guys go to the same school.
Yeah. Dragon in the server room.
Drowned Summer, conduit of Ronaldo dances.
Dylan.
Everin in the chamber of secretion.
Do not secrete in the chamber.
I mean, there are certain chambers in which you are.
No.
It is okay for you to secrete. I just want to be clear. Okay.
Einar Johansson.
Ecorin.
Elderly Goose.
Eleanor Nonante sees Periton.
Aline.
Emma loves moose. I also love moose.
Oh, fuck yeah, they're so big.
Oh my god, they're mighty.
Indigo Vandane.
Erwin Lala Gadek. Leila Gadek.
Lilagadek. I don't know. Eventual Eden.
Extellaris.
5 purple conduits.
Florian H.
Fubar, conduit of not only foo, but also bar.
Francois V. Or the 5th.
That's what I always say.
It could be Francois V. You don't know.
Gorfanax Jr., conduit of hunger, and CEO Gorfanax brain meats.
I do think we should vote him off the board, though. Grimlock.
Happy birthday on November 13th. Jorgen, Indie Monster, conduit of name B. I know it's butchering. I know it's name butchering.
Lauren does not have Excel, so I have to export the list that Patreon sends me into a PDF, and it ruins some of the marks that aren't in standard English, so some of the names don't look right for her.
Oh, I have an excuse. What's yours?
Oh, I have a bad mouth.
Oh, okay.
Next name, Harley Astor.
Harrison Andrew.
Hedron Master.
Highway to Mel.
Fuck, that's very good. Hustle Bones.
I am Tosk.
I am Tosk.
Aw.
It's a Star Trek thing. Anyway.
Oh, I would not know.
It's okay. I read a Zandra light novel and transformed into a patron.
Ian Morgan.
Any relation?
No.
I know this says Emmanuel Pinacios. I thought it said Emmanuel Pistachios, and I almost lost it.
It also could be Pinocchio's.
It's Pinacios.
I know.
I don't know why I said that. I said that so snooty, like, obviously.
Ingemar Grimon.
Isaac Arevalo.
Jack Clough.
Jade the Mind Sculptor.
Oh, Jade's back to normal. Hey, Jade.
Not banned in Modern anymore.
Not pretending to be a McElroy anymore.
Caught you.
James Neely.
Janiac, conduit of 5 gallons of lube and a kilo of glitter in a paddling pool.
Oh no, that sounds like a mess.
Is it Janiac Laura's fiance?
What are y'all getting up to over there in England?
They just have more fun than us.
Everybody has more fun than me.
Damn.
Jaspel, conduit of Movember fluffiness.
J. Logan, conduit of queerness itself.
Jay Poirier.
Jeff Clark.
Jesse, conduit of existential dread. Also a big mood.
Joaquin Groening.
John Beresford.
John Kerry. Not that one. I add that.
What'd you add?
Not that one. I say that every month. John Kerry, not that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
because John Kerry?
I bet they're really tired of me saying that every month.
Probably. It's like, that's just my name, Austin. Stop it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay. John Potts.
John Barnett.
Joseph Tombrello.
Josh Mosier.
JP Green.
Oh, I thought that was JRPG Ian. I was like, what is that? Sorry. Juman Jack-O-Lantern. Still rocking the Halloween.
spooky.
I respect it.
Julian Phillips.
Junk 2.0.
Just a jester.
Justin Berthasell, conduit of Ooh Ooh itself.
Also a big mood.
Mm-hmm.
Caster UK.
Kate, conduit of instant regret.
The biggest mood. Kaylee Scherer.
Keller Automat.
Kevin Dobbins.
Killer Cotton Shizno.
Kitty Foe.
Christina, conduit of every animal on Hypatia themselves. They are absolute units. You have to give it to
Christina, come to my house if you're all those animals. But if you're not all those animals, then you lied to me and don't come to my house.
them. We don't have any place for liars in this house.
The cats lie a lot, so I guess I do.
Damn.
Criterion, conduit of bad puns.
Lana Seawolf, Lady of Bones. She's a paleontologist, so it's not... I know that sounds
Wait, is
very
she
ominous.
really? Really?
Huh?
Is she really a paleontologist?
Yeah, you need to spend more time in our Discord.
I spend a lot of time crying in bed. I don't have time for other things.
Okay. The schedule's packed, I'm sorry.
Levy the Young, conduit of not mad, just disappointed.
Lily Cage, conduit of Stay Tuned.
The rudest conduit. Lindsay Pankhurst.
Logion, conduit of Fatigue. Now that's my big mood.
We can both claim that mood. It's okay.
Sharing is caring.
Lauren Cates.
Luke Powers.
MJo.
Markov needs pangolins. Agree.
Sure fucking does.
Yeah.
The Cult of Glorfinax.
Matthew B. Hare, conduit of cranberry sauce. That's that November shit.
Give me that turkey day bullshit. Matthew Schultz.
Matthew Weber, but also I am Tosk. Hell yeah.
I still don't
All my Tosk bros out here.
get it.
Is a character in Star Trek who the only thing he says is I am Tosk. He was the original Hodor, if you think about it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Matthias Lackitz.
Maz Jin.
Melissa Nielsen.
Mel Tish.
Mary Flowers. That's right. Fuck Thanksgiving.
Now, do we want to kind of bring that kind of negativity in here, Mary Flowers?
You know what you did, Mary Flowers.
Well, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I also feel like fuck Thanksgiving when I'm there and I have to look all the people in the eyes.
Oh, and I have to talk to all the people, and they're like, "What are you doing with your life this year, Lauren?" And I'm like, "All I did was cry a lot."
Yeah, that's basically. I'm like, oh, I love this turkey, love this mashed potatoes, but if you say another thing about what you saw on the news, I'm going to stab you with a fork. All right, I get it, Mary Flowers. You're off the hook. Michael Groman, Michael Hall, Michelle Minkler, Miko from Finland, Morgan Rapp,
Nicholas Dominic.
Nina Pearson,
Noah Sudret.
Notorious Stoltz, conduit of Notorious Stoltz itself. Fair enough.
Paul Mullen.
Possum Kingdom Refugee.
I still want to go to the Possum Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Pruitt Holcomb.
Puck, conduit of large ambitions with poor follow-through.
I can't believe you all are calling me out like this month.
Are these all you?
No, but they fucking got me.
Okay.
Quench the Void.
Rain, conduit of wetness herself. I feel as though the algorithm has put the Quench the Void and wetness herself next to each other. I feel like they could sort a situation out between them.
Oh no.
It's Quenchy.
Whose turn? Oh, it's my turn. Random web person.
Rasvita.
Razumi Yazura.
Rainer, the conduit of slightly less stoned.
I fucking got you, Reynard. I'm never less stoned.
Sleep with one eye open, bitch. I'm coming for you.
Richard G. Coles.
Robert Dakin.
Oh, this one's really good.
God damn it.
Rulon, conduit of that time Austin said flute toot close to the sun.
anybody can provide a timestamp, I would like to hear myself say flute toot close to the sun.
Flute toot.
That'd be a good back tattoo. Flute toot close to the sun. In Latin, over a picture of the sun. S. Kearney, conduit of coffee.
That's also Austin.
I'm trying to lay off.
Salad Child.
Sam Zdenowitz.
Scott Goings. Oh, you got us, Scott.
Scott McCloud.
Scott, who stole my name for a joke, Cummings.
Oh my god, they're dueling.
I love our fans.
There's a fencing match going on in the credits. Scotty Vilhard.
Sean Lyonsburg.
Sean, the host of Funk Dunk Plays.
Sevarden Akrasimova.
Shane Sedgwick.
Shane Ware, conduit of ethical hedonism itself.
AKA Season 5, Sir_Octopus. I don't know if you want me to say underscore. It's the only one that has an underscore in it. So
I just imagine an octopus with like a monocle and a top hat, and that's pretty good.
yeah, Kane, doctorate. I like him.
Snowfall Frost did nothing wrong.
I don't know. Sprankton, a noun, a disease you get from chewing too much.
I love the comment.
Please leave. Turn all of this into just fun trivia facts.
Seriously, Sydney Marsing.
Cyretha, conduit of puns.
The cast of Dungeons the Gathering.
Didn't we have 2 conduit of puns?
Did we? There's so many names I forgot already.
Where were we?
The Had Cells. I read it for you, bitch.
Which one am I?
The hottest, gayest, purest, goodest Jen. I guess I took that from you too.
I tricked you. Now you have to read the rest of them.
No.
The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marietta, Georgia. Was that too long for you to say?
No, I just would like telling you no.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was just a power thing, I guess.
Yeah. The Paladin's wife.
Did I just get bombed my own credits? The fuck?
Oh no!
Tim Lutton.
Tired Cucumber. Oh, Cucumber same.
Toby Gleason Stack.
Tom Turkey's Tuber Tunnel.
Come on down to Tom Turkey's Tuber Tunnel. We have all the tubers you need for your Thanksgiving needs.
I'm so glad you understood what I was doing there.
Kosher Recruiter, editor of Attack on Dice.
Transient Passerby.
Shanus.
Vega Arnston.
Victoria Melito.
Vinny, conduit of gay pop music. Yeah.
Now they're just pandering to you. Okay, so Austin gets dunks, and you get like, oh, we love your work so much, Vinny, you're so gay and cute, we love you. Also, Austin said a thing one time and it said flute toot to the sun.
Flute toot. Whose turn is it?
I don't know, I went off on a thing there.
Vizzy Huggles, keep up the great work, y'all, see?
Thanks, Vizzy. Ziphosaurus.
Yeah.
Yoko Taro is Yoko Taro, the conduit of Yoko Taro. Okay, Yoko, if you're listening, where's Drakengard 4, bitch? And finally, Z23619. And that's all of them. Actually, another one came in as we were recording. Andrew Fedye. I'm sorry, it's the J, it just not for Americans. We don't know what to do with it. I see the J in there, and my brain says, yeah.
Wow, that was a lot this month. Wow. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'd rather it be a lot than too little. That means you do enjoy our work. And oh my god, I looked at their recording. It's 21 minutes. That cannot stand.
Like,
that cannot be.
Fuck,
we have to leave.
So late for work.
We have to go. I mean, you should definitely follow Laura at Laura K. Buzz everywhere. Kotaku.co.uk. Chris, patreon.com/weeklymug recap. Conrad is at Conrad Zimmerman on Twitter. Of Horse, the podcast.
Austin.
Me, patreon.com/Austin Yorsky. You know what it is. You know where we are.
.bandcamp.sketch.bandcamp.sketch.bandcamp.
.com/sketch. Yeah. Also, big thanks to everybody in the Discord, all the great artists.
Thanks to me. You're welcome. You didn't name me, bitch.
You're here and you're queer and you can't be stopped. What else do you want?
I just want you to acknowledge it.
That's what the show is. It's nothing but acknowledging that.
Fair.
Thanks to all the moderators in the Discord. Thanks to everybody who sends me constructive criticism. I know the combat could be harder, but they start crying. I'm sorry. If I make it harder, they cry. I don't know what you want me to do.
I feel like we don't cry.
You cried before. Okay. You literally.
I never cried. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't cry at the beginning of this recording.
You started crying in the middle of this recording. I had to edit it out.
Did I really?
Yes.
I cry so much that I forget when I cry.